I told you yesterday we had a special guest coming. A lot of you guessed correctly. My parents are here and we have a really fun project. We've cleaned out the garage. My dad has a really nice shop back in Connecticut and he's got a couple really cool carpentry tables set up there. So we're gonna build one of those carpentry tables. Dad's gonna help me set up the shop for putting in like a homestead carpentry shop?
Yeah.
Wood shop?
Yeah, general purpose shop.
Anything shop?
We're gonna build a nice table. It's going to be heavy duty. We're going to build it out of 2x6. We're going to have some built-in drawers underneath, some lumber storage on the bottom. It's going to be on wheels so we can roll it around. All the tools will be there, guitar on the wall.
Guitar on the everything you need.
Happy shop, happy garage, gotta have a guitar.
So we're going to get started on a table today. We're going to be hanging some pegboard. We got a lot to do. Let's get moving.
We're going to build a table that's 4 foot wide and 10 foot long. And the reason why we're going to build it 10 foot long is most of the time we're going to leave a miter saw or a chop saw on the end of that table. And that takes up a couple of feet. That leaves us 8 feet on the other side of that to feed lumber to it, keep tools hanging around. And again, underneath there's going to be heavy duty drawers. We're going to keep screws, screw guns. On the bottom of that there'll be a lumber rack. And again, it's on wheels so we can roll this thing all over the place. So our size is 4x10. We're gonna start making the top frame first. We're gonna trim it down to size so our plywood fits just right. And here we go, we're gonna get cutting. Check in later.
All right, let's cut. While we're working today on what is a table, we're also going to be laying out this as a carpentry shop. If you have a homestead, you're constantly building things, you need to have a space that you can go and work, you can put together things, a spot where your tools are safe, where they're there every time so you know where to find them. And that's what we're doing here. And I waited till I could get Dad down for this project. Dad, his truck is organized, each shelf in the truck, you know where the right tool is. His shop is organized, he can tell you exactly where to find that tool in the shop. And I am not, as I've said a lot in these videos where we talk about organizing, I'm not an organized person. It does not come naturally to me. So I had to get my dad down here for this. Mom also came, she's running the camera. You can wave hello there, Mom. So Mom's gonna run the camera for us. Film this process as we set up our carpentry shop here. We're going to be building a table. We'll also get a lot of good advice on how to set up a nice carpentry shop from the master over there who built homes for decades and can build just about anything. A home, a goat home, you know. So let's get going.
So we have our long pieces cut and we have the 2 end pieces cut. And what I'm gonna do is for a layout is I'm gonna come in 15 1/4 from this end, 15 1/4 from this end. That'll give us about a 16 on center, about a 16 on center. Not exactly, but it's good enough for this table. So now we'll take these 2 pieces and we're gonna screw it in and that'll give us our tabletop frame.
You want to sink it a lot or?
Just in a bit. Good, that's good enough. Good. On these outside ones, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-drill our holes in the end piece. Because with screws, when you draw them in and you pull them in tight, it can split this wood. So by pre-drilling helps prevent that. So when I pick a bit to pre-drill a screw, if you look at the screw, you'll see there's a shank and then there's the threads themselves. The threads are a little further out than the shank. So what I want my bit to do is pre-drill me a hole just the size of the shank and leave all the meat for the threads to grab. So this one here looks just right. I can see through it and I see all the threads. So there'll be enough meat there when left over for the threads to grab and it won't split the wood. And that's how you do that. cut this in the chop saw.
As you can see, we have just finished the top of the table. Come on over here, Doug.
Okay.
This is the frame. On top of it's gonna go the plywood. We'll put the legs and some drawers underneath. We're building a table for the carpentry shop. This is like the first thing we wanted to add to this space. Why is a table so important?
Well, we use it to build everything on, and there'll be storage underneath it for lumber. There'll be drawers to keep our tools in and screws and all that sort of thing. And because we're putting it on wheels, we can move it around anywhere we want. So it's our working space. We don't have to kneel down and do things on the floor. So we can work like gentlemen.
What is that? If someone's trying to set up a space to build stuff on the homestead, what elements, in addition to a good table like what we're doing right now, what other things would you want to make sure someone had in their building space?
Well, probably storage for things they're going to use, maybe not every day, but weekly or monthly, everything like that, an organized area, a little stockpile of everything, maybe some fence posts or whatever you're repairing for your particular needs. The tools to do the things, and the space for those tools, and say it's drills, so you keep a bunch of drill bits and tips around in that area so you don't spend a lot of time running around looking for that stuff.
So one of the things we're setting up here is a table. In addition to that, for storage, we're going to put up some pegboard. We're going to put up some shelves. We're going to put up some
shelves, yeah, for a lot of the tools.
So help me not lose tools like I used to do when I was working in your shop. The next step in this is to put some feet on the table?
The next step we're going to do is we're going to cut the legs for this, and we've already decided on what height we want.
We're going to put some feet on this table, and then I think we're going to call it a night and get some dinner.
Yep,
Some legs.
Before we cut this leg to the size we need, this is going to be the bottom, and what I'm doing here is I've just got my little speed square on here, and I'm checking to make sure that this is a good cut here. It's nice and square that way. It's nice and square that way. So for what we're doing, after we cut this to length, we're going to be bolting these to the bottom of it. So it's going to be nice and square.
This is a giant piece of wood. We don't have any saw here at the homestead that can cut this straight through. So what we're going to have to do, Dad's going to grab the skill saw, we're going to cut, spin, and that's probably how you'll have to cut it if you're following along at home.
Yeah, I'll get it in a second. I want to double check. I'm going to measure twice.
Cut once.
Okay, so we have our first leg cut, and I'm now going to use that leg as a pattern. Came out really good. So to use it, I throw it on top of the remainder of the 6x6 that we're going to be cutting for the other legs. Flush up the bottom really good, flush up the side, and then I just put a scribe pencil mark on this end, and I'm going to roll the logo or the board over many times and carry that around and do the cutting all over again. So this one's our pattern right here. And we're right there. All right. Okay, we have all 4 legs cut, and now what we're going to do is we're going to put a leg in each corner, and we're just going to run a couple of screws in it temporary to hold it. We're going to flip this table over, and we're going to do some guides for drawer shelves in the bottom, and we're also going to put the casters on the bottom. So we're going to go ahead and do that with the legs now and move on to the next step.
Good.
All right, put one screw in the top right there. Okay, not the bottom yet, because now we're gonna fix this side.
Got it, okay.
So come over here. About an inch up, that's it. All right.
Suck it in.
All right, and here.
Tables. We are all done for today. We have the legs on the frame for the table. Tomorrow morning we're going to start by putting some casters on this thing and then building some drawers. But right now there's some stuffed cabbage upstairs, which
Nice.
is calling my name. So
All right,
we're
and
gonna shut it
probably,
down.
I think we might have some wine
Maybe
in the truck.
or a
to bring up
screwdriver.
there. Oh, screwdriver, sounds good to me. You have that up
Grampy's
there?
favorite, the
All right,
screwdriver.
I'll have one of those.
I'm not talking about the tool.
All right, so now we're gonna unplug these in case somebody comes down here and.
Shut it down.
Day 2 here, Dad. Set us up.
All right, so we put the legs on yesterday, and now we're gonna set the casters on, and we'll just pre-drill some holes, and we'll do the same thing yesterday with the lag bolts that we did for the other screws. We'll find a drill bit that'll leave the threads on, so when we drill, the shank can go through, but the threads bite in. And we're gonna do that on all 4 of them. Okay.
Put a GoPro on there. That's where my camera was.
Okay, we're gonna make the bottom frame, and the bottom frame is gonna be almost identical to this, but it's gonna fit inside the 6x6 all the way around. About 44 3/4, that's what it looks like there. So we'll cut 2 of those, and then we'll measure the length in between. All right, so what we're gonna do now is, we got the outside frame pieces cut. We're gonna pre-drill and screw these together.
Okay.
All right, so I'll get my drill bit again, and you get your screws, the 3-inchers. And we'll start putting this together.
We got the bottom platform all finished up, so that's the bottom shelf. Now we're going to start building the framework for some drawers that go underneath the top part. We're going to build that, put the drawers in, and at that point we're really getting close to being finished with this. We'll flip it back over, put the tops on our bottom and our top, and we'll be done.
And the drawers, we're gonna build out of heavy lumber because the drawers will serve 2 purposes. They're gonna store tools and screws and nails and all this sort of thing. But they're also gonna be an extra little shelf that you can pull out and put some lumber on and cut off of them. So they're super strong. It gives you an extra little space if you need it, just temporarily. You can whip out a couple of drawers, throw a 4x4 on it, cut it, then push the drawers back in, and not have to go somewhere else and set up.
They're like a extra sawhorse.
Yeah.
You can just pull out and work off of.
When they're done, we'll show you what that looks like with some wood on it. All right. Why do you think they call this a 2x6?
Because it's 2 here and 6 here.
6 that way, right. And even though it's not actually a full 2 inches, or
Okay.
it's what they call dressed off, so it finishes up about 1.5 inches and about 5.5 inches. But it's still called a 2x6,
pick up some wood.
just like those other ones you moved earlier were 2x4s. Okay?
Alright, these ones are big, so be careful, guys. These are little big.
Yeah, those are the 2x6, so they're gonna get stacked up here on the 2x6 rack. All righty?
Good job. Alright, I'll take a little ready and you take those.
All right.
Got it ready?
We got it. All right, I think I got the heavy end. I'll go out here.
That's just because their sizes is amazing.
I'm just... All right, so we're not even lifting now. We're just rolling it,
Rolling,
leaving
yeah.
the weight on these.
Okay.
Okay, we're just kind of rolling forward. There we go. Keep rolling.
And now we're starting to
Yep,
roll
just keep
over.
rolling. All right, now come out here.
Okay.
Come out here and just let the weight come down. See, we didn't want to lift, we're just rolling.
Yep,
Now it's
that's
going to
right.
come down on the wheels.
Yep.
All right? Look how easy.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Boy, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right, so what, are we ready for the next move here?
Yeah.
Okay, so we flip the table over, all the draw guides are in place. It's time to put the top on it. We're gonna screw that down. I gotta cut a 2-foot section for here. We're gonna screw all that down. Then we're actually gonna use this table to cut on. We gotta cut all the plywood. That'll be the bottom of these shelves. And then we gotta do the draw sides, and we're gonna actually use our table. It's a working table
It
now.
officially will be a working
It's
table.
on the clock. From here on in, it's just a work table. It's no longer a dream. Yep. Is that bit all just too long? Should you get the short one in there?
Oh, that's gonna split again. Nice and straight. We don't want to sink it too much. table. Almost last step, I guess. We're putting this dark, what do you call that stuff?
We call masonite.
Masonite we're putting on top of the table. It's got that smooth texture, and the nice thing is this, you know, in 5 years if it's shot, you can just pry it up and put a new sheet down.
Nice new smooth surface.
All right, so what
My old man acts like a young man, puts this young man's heart in the race. His eyes are bad, his spirit is glad, he's got laughter in the lines of his face.
Alright, all done. A couple of blocks here underneath, scrap for shocking up stuff, we'll put under there.
Put some food on, we're ready.
Okay, so we're gonna put the 1x2s down over there.
That's it. The Grampy JoJo Carpentry Shop Table Special. Done.
Drawers that slide out, so nice. Alright, look at that.
So you can cut some wood on it, right?
If you need to use,
Uh-oh, we need a horse.
yeah, you need a quick horse.
We got a
Got an
horse.
extra horse, you can cut, and then it's out of your
It's
way.
up there.
In it goes. Beautiful.
Ooh, those are smooth.
Only one thing is, you know, they hang a little bit closer.
We did it. Table's
All right.
done. Dad says this one's nicer than his.
Yeah, well, the wood is brand new. Mine was. Yeah, mine.
He's jealous of my drawers. In tomorrow's episode of Homesteady, the Homestead Carpentry Shop project continues. We show you how to put up a pegboard, and while I work on the pegboard, Grampy JoJo builds something in the brand new carpentry shop that makes his grandson pretty excited.
You're happy with the size of this table,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Find out what that is in tomorrow's episode of Homesteady. If you like our show, you can help us produce this show without spending a penny extra. When you do online shopping on Amazon, just click on this link right here to go there, or type in www.amsteady.com before you go to Amazon. It will forward you there, won't cost you a penny extra. It's a huge help in us being able to do this show. We thank you for your support.